We'll start with a very important part in this chapter, which is oxidation and reduction. We'll start talking about oxidation and reduction, oxygen transfer. In this video, we'll learn what does oxidation, reduction, oxidized and reduced mean. We'll take a small example. Oxidation is the gain of oxygen. However, reduction is the loss of oxygen. Whenever we have an equation having oxidation and reduction, it's said to be a redox reaction. We'll also explain what's a reducing agent and what's an oxidizing agent. These terms, written in bold, must be memorized very well because they are extremely important. So we have oxidation, reduction, oxidized, reduced, reducing agent, and oxidizing agent. You must understand and be aware of these terms. So let's start with oxidation and reduction. We will explain what does oxidation and what does reduction mean. Oxidation and reduction, oxygen transfer. A substance has been oxidized if it gains oxygen. So any substance gaining oxygen is said to be oxidized. Oxidation is gain of oxygen. A substance has been reduced if it loses oxygen. Reduced is opposed to oxidized. Before we said the substance is oxidized when it gains oxygen, whereas here the substance is reduced when it loses oxygen. Reduction is a loss of oxygen. So that's the difference between oxidation and reduction. Oxidation is gain and reduction is a loss of oxygen. The substance that gained oxygen is said to be oxidized. However, the substance that lost oxygen is said to be reduced. For example, we have magnesium plus copper oxide reacts to give magnesium oxide plus copper. So let's see the difference between the reactants and the products. We can see that magnesium turned into magnesium oxide. It gained oxygen. So it underwent oxidation. Magnesium gained oxygen. So we call this oxidation. However, copper oxide lost oxygen. It became copper. It underwent reduction. So oxidation is when the substance gains oxygen. However, reduction is when the substance loses oxygen. So this is the difference between oxidation and reduction.